So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot. Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Good morning, sunshine, and welcome to another episode of Fay at 5. Today, it's official. I have outdone myself. We have the one that has been the voice of getting it done and the voice of reason, and of course, just a voice doing it for the culture. None other than the Roland Martin. How are you?
Doing great. Busy day, first day with a book out. So lots of things happening, but it's all good.
That's it. Congratulations. And thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be here. I know that today you are on the road making it happen. And with this new book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folk Lose Their Minds. Okay, so let's just amp up security. Rule number one.
Well, look, here's the deal. I've actually been talking about this for the last 13 years. This has been a consistent thing that I've focused on because it's been real. And too often mainstream media has ignored this story. They've ignored the realities of what's going on in our politics and what is taking place. And I think, we've got to be honest about what's happening. And even if you look at the book cover, the reason I chose that photo, and I picked that photo because that was from January 6th. And here you have this white man, his arms are outstretched. In essence, what he is saying is all of this is ours. And we're here to take and keep what is ours. And so when you see that, when it jumps out at you, and that's what January 6th was all about. Remember, Donald Trump was protesting the election results in 4 cities: Atlanta, Philadelphia, Detroit, Milwaukee. What do those 4 cities have in common? Majority Black.
See, unless you open your eyes and miss this one, right?
Right. And so when you look at the attacks on critical race theory, the attacks on the 1619 Project, the attacks on diversity, equity, inclusion, the attacks on multiculturalism, the attacks on affirmative action, on and on and on, it is this fear of losing power, this fear of losing jobs, this fear of losing resources. All we heard in 2016 was, the economic anxiety of white Americans. Really? I would think that the people with the lowest wealth probably should have the highest economic anxiety. But in fact, that wasn't the case. That was a study that was done in September 2016. And the question was asked, are you optimistic about the future of America economically for the next 10 years? Black people, lowest wealth, highest optimism.
Right.
Latinos, second lowest wealth, second highest optimism. White Americans, by far, highest wealth, lowest optimism. What media doesn't do, what white mainstream media doesn't do, is ask that next question. Why?
Right.
What's going on here? And so what is happening is, because we're seeing a nation become more majority minority, by 2043, it will be a majority minority country. That's what people are, they're afraid of. Oh my goodness, losing power, losing influence, because we now get to weigh in on what's happening in this country. We now get to have a voice, and that is unsettling to some white Americans.
Yeah. And the real hard part comes in when you start educating yourself, not just on the issues at hand, but the people who are stepping up saying that I'm here to represent you and your concerns. Well, we have so many of these politicians that hold these positions, and we don't challenge them enough. The ones that's coming back for re-election, what have you done with what you had while you had it? What is it that we can expect differently? Are we even educating ourselves on the platform, the power of our vote and our voice?
Well, the thing is, but I need people to understand what is happening politically when you talk about ideology, when you talk about what's going on, when you literally have a party, the Republican Party, that is advancing a white nationalism agenda. That is advancing a white Christianity agenda. We have to understand how that impacts us with public policy, because what they're looking to do, they see what's coming. The Republican Party is not a diverse party. They largely are the party of white Americans.
Right.
And so what you're trying to see is folks lock in control over the institutions for the next 50 to 100 years. So even if the numbers change by 2043, they still are in control. Think South Africa, majority black country, overwhelmingly black country, yet you still have the white power structure that still holds the economic reins in South Africa. That's the same thing, that you're seeing here. But it goes beyond even the political piece. It goes beyond this notion to how do you redefine America? That's why
Right.
they hate the 1619 Project. Because America has taught us this is what it means to be an American. This is what it means to be an American. And here we're saying, you know what? We think a little different.
Just a
And
touch.
so our view of the flag, our view of the national anthem, our view of what we've always said, no, this is what it means to be an American. We're saying, no, we get to redefine that. And that's also part of this fear, because everything in America has been defined through the prism of whiteness from the beginning. We now are saying, yeah, we get to have now, we now get to have our say. And that's unsettling to a lot of folks.
Right. And while you were inking this book, White Fear, how the browning of America is making white folks lose their mind. Did you have any of those pivotal moments where you said, I I typically would get in trouble if I said this out loud, but it needs to be said. You get to chapter what before you start raising your own eyebrow at this project?
Oh, because I again, I in 2009, I was waiting to go on CNN with John Avlon, and
Mhm.
we are talking, and I said, John, we're living in the beginning stages of white minority resistance. But the reality is, you've always had that. When you look at the history of America, uh, black success has always been followed by white backlash. You always had that. What was the fear of white people after slavery ended? Oh my God, they're going to take over, take our jobs, take our resources. Why was there a Mississippi Constitutional Convention in 1890? Because black people kept getting elected. They literally changed the state constitution in 1890, and they were quoted as, this is to keep niggas from winning.
Mm.
Guess what happened? Since 1890, no African American in a state with the largest percentage of black people has been elected to a statewide office.
Wow.
They succeeded.
The
And
verbiage has
so,
changed, but the mentality is still the same.
yes, but you just have to understand that, look, after the civil rights movement, what was the fear? Oh my God, we're going to lose money. Why was the Fair Housing Act filibustered for 2 years? Oh, they're moving into our neighborhoods. That's white fear. And so we can just track American history, and we have had that happen in every generation. This fear that we all of a sudden we are now getting something, and now what do we do? And we're losing something. But guess what? Numbers don't lie.
Mm.
Okay, more white Americans are dying in America than are being born. America is changing. There's nothing you can do about it. So I say, stop being fearful and embrace this new America that we're seeing emerge.
Exactly. And here in the state of Louisiana, we see so much of what you're inking in this book. It's out today. I
Yeah,
would encourage others not to let it be a stocking stuffer all the way in December. You get this right now. Education and the
but there's a
application.
plan of action for us though,
Yeah.
and and to your point, we have got what I say in the book. We must take advantage of this moment. You
Yes.
can't have your three largest cities where black folks vote in Louisiana and the highest turnout is 36%. You can't have that. You got to have black folks using the power of their ballot. We got to have black folks fully embracing of education. We've got to have black folks fully embracing black economics. And so we can't just sit here and go, oh, the numbers are changing, because otherwise we're going to get to 2043 and we're going to be worse off because we did not prepare ourselves for the shift, for the change.
Exactly. And, I applaud you for being the voice and for representing, because representation does matter. Even when you get in the rooms where it may be a little tight on them, you say it with your chest and you stand on it. And,
All day.
This is an extension of your office, and I always want you to feel free to jump on the tan line. And as soon as you get to Louisiana, you know I'm your official tour guide. I got you on some gumbo and some beignets. It's a family field trip. We're going to do us one of these open book discussions as soon as you get here. So make plans to do it. White
All right,
Bear,
sounds good.
How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Mind. Available right now wherever books are sold. Roland Martin, you are the real MVP, and don't you dare let them tell you different.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Be safe on the road. I
All right, be
love you.
well.
There's
Take
nothing you
care.
can do about it.
All right, take care. Appreciate it.